I'm Drew Becker, and I'm here with Omar McCallop, and we are going to talk a little bit about the panel that Omar is going to be on. He will be on the Whiz Bang Marketing panel, which is going to tell you how to get your book out there and get it sold and marketed. It also has a lot to do with branding, and I know that that's a part of what your company does. Tell us about your company.
So I run a company called Galaxy Studios LLC, and within that company we do a lot of things. We do a lot of productions, we do marketing, branding, and business development for clients, but primarily in movies, TV, film, and books. So from people coming and say, hey, I want to be an author, or I want to be an actress, or a movie star, or a singer, or a writer, our goal is to help clients get from point A to Z in their career. And sometimes we have products that companies bring to us with the same type of desire. It's a product that nobody knows about, and they want to increase the exposure and brand of that product. So whether it's people or things, we take pretty much the same approach from a marketing and branding perspective.
Okay. Branding an author. It's a little different than branding a cereal, isn't it?
Yes and no, I would say. We try to take everything from a specific approach instead of a cookie cutter method. So I wouldn't just say, hey, I'm going to brand this author or this series exactly the same way. We try to get to know the person so that we can pull out what's unique about that individual and, shine the light on that. Because in the marketing and branding world, you're not, let's say, McDonald's, and you can't spend, billions of dollars on your product or branding yourself. So we try to take the approach in finding what's special about that person, in this case an author, what makes them stand out, and focus on that. But to circle back around to your question, it's different certainly from a cereal, because a box of cereal is a box of cereal. My primary suggestion would be to make a brand for your book and for yourself, right? Because you want to sell the book on whatever content or whatever topic that it has that you're trying to get to the world. But you also want to brand yourself so that next time you put out a book, whether it's about cornflakes or it's about nuts and bolts, people want to read what you're talking about. So that way you don't have to start all over and say, okay, now I have this other book that I want you to read. If I'm going to read something from Drew, then I should always want to read something from Drew, depending on how you brand yourself and the type of writer and person and persona you have. That's going to last a lot longer, in our opinion, than only branding the book itself. So you want to try to approach it with a duality.
Okay, great. So what is your biggest challenge with authors in terms of branding? I mean, because they're not like singers,
right?
They're not like actors. A lot of times they don't want to be as front stage as those folks do.
Yeah. And that is the challenge. I think that you have to drive the activity. Our firm company, we believe in activity, especially in this day and age when you have so many distractions. You can do a million other things besides reading a book. So we believe in activity. So that is the biggest challenge. How do we know how to brand a book, market a book. That is, somewhat standard, depending on your budget and what the book is about, and et cetera, et cetera. But in order to brand a person, we need some participation from that person. And sometimes because writers, tend to perform their craft on their own one-on-one, some can be hesitant. But there's ways around that. You can, if a person doesn't like to be out in front crowd-wise, then there's filming, there's apps, there's different ways to do that. But that is the biggest challenge. Getting a writer to be active after the book is done and you go into marketing and promotion mode, because